Hello everybody, my name is Davis and welcome back to another video, and today, we're not doing a video, we're doing a live stream. I lost my train of thought, but we're here live. We have a PDS tornado. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. This is for Weatherford, Oklahoma. At 7:36 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located 5 miles west of Custer City, moving east at 30 miles per hour. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. Hazard, damaging tornado. Source, broadcast media, confirmed tornado. Impact, you're in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be destroyed. Considerable damage to homes, businesses, and vehicles is likely. Incomplete destruction is possible. To repeat, an extremely dangerous and potentially deadly tornado is on the ground. To protect your life, take cover now. Move to and now it's a tornado emergency. Okay, that kind of came out of nowhere, but we have a tornado emergency now. I did not even notice that, but apparently we have a catastrophic tornado on the ground now. I really was not expecting that, but there we go. We have a tornado emergency now for Custer City. You need to run. Do not walk to your safe spot. This is a confirmed large and destructive tornado. Again, this is a tornado emergency, the highest level of weather warning that exists for Custer City, Oklahoma. Impact, once again, you're in a life-threatening situation. You gotta run to your safe spot. I was not expecting that. Again, we are at a tornado emergency now. I saw the little thing in the top right-hand corner was pink, and I was like, uh-oh. Okay, so we now have a tornado emergency for Custer City, Oklahoma. You gotta run to your safe spot, guys. I really was not expecting that. Again, this is a large and catastrophic tornado on the ground. Holy cow. I was not expecting that at all. This is a very large tornado, though. I mean, the velocities are just an absolute mess right now. Holy cow. This has to be a huge tornado if it went tornado emergency warning that fast. Again, this is now a tornado emergency for Custer City, Oklahoma, the highest level of weather warning that exists. I mean, if this doesn't get you in your safe place, I don't know what will. Again, this is quite literally a catastrophe going down in Custer City, Oklahoma. Again, whenever we went live, it was a PDS tornado, and then about a minute in, it got upgraded to tornado emergency. So again, this is a catastrophic tornado now, as well as tennis ball-sized hail falling near Custer City, Oklahoma. Again, you gotta run to your safe spot.
He said ball.
Yeah, Owen's here. I forgot to even mention that. I kind of forgot he was here.
I've been quiet.
So again,
I don't like being quiet.
Tornado emergency now. This is for portions of central Custer County. Again, you need to run, not walk to your tornado safe spot. This is a huge and violent tornado.
Hey, Davis, don't they just get an alert on their phone?
Yes, but they don't know whenever it's lifted or not. Their phone doesn't give them minute-by-minute updates. Now the velocities are updating, or the velocities are estimating 160 mile per hour winds. So this quite literally could be like one of the bigger tornadoes we've seen all year, guys. Again, this is a tornado emergency. I'm going to update the stream title here. I cannot believe it.
You know it does give you minute-by-minute updates. Davis Does Games. Make sure to subscribe.
I'm hanging up on this call right now. I'm hanging up on him. Okay. So again, guys, we have a tornado emergency now for Custer City. Again, this is the highest level of weather warning that exists. I was genuinely not expecting that. But again, this is a large and catastrophic tornado we have on the ground right now. I'm bringing up stream chat, so anybody that has any questions about the location, feel free to leave those down below. I'll try to answer them accurately and honestly. Again, this is a tornado emergency for Custer City. I am genuinely speechless. I mean, this is just a massive tornado, guys. Again, I really was not expecting that. That really came out of nowhere. Again, this is a tornado emergency for Custer City, Oklahoma, the highest level of weather warning that can possibly be issued. Again, if you are in this warning, I cannot stress this enough. You gotta run, not walk to your safe spot. Apparently, this is a huge wedge tornado, according to somebody. Yeah, this was in a 2% tornado risk that this was issued. Okay, this is bad. Yeah, this is in an area with only 600 people. So if they're issuing the tornado emergency in an area that only has 600 people, the tornado has to be absolutely massive, guys. Like, genuinely, this is the worst tornado we have seen in so long. Okay, new tornado warning. This is another PDS tornado. Wait, no, that's the wrong one, sorry. This is for Harvey County, Kansas. Take cover now. This is for the town of Newton. But again, we are only focused on the tornado emergency right now. That is our only focus at the minute. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we have a tornado emergency for Custer City, Oklahoma. A large and violent tornado is on the ground, impacting Custer City now. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. Again, this is a catastrophic wedge tornado. If you're in Custer City, you need to run to your safe spot. You do not have much time. I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying that because this is a huge tornado. I genuinely cannot believe it. Not in a million years did I think we'd get a tornado emergency today. Again, this is a large and violent tornado. And it's heading for Custer City. It's moving off to the east here at 30 miles per hour. Again, this is a tornado emergency for Custer City, Oklahoma. You gotta go now. If you're in a mobile home, you gotta evacuate. You gotta find a more substantial shelter. I mean, this is just an absolute monster of a tornado here. Again, I mean, this is just, like, insane. This genuinely feels surreal right now. Again, Custer City, Oklahoma, you are under a tornado emergency. The highest level of weather warning that can possibly be issued. This is a large, violent wedge tornado on the ground in Oklahoma. This is a classic Oklahoma supercellular tornado here. Holy cow, guys. This is huge. This is actually huge. Again, this is a tornado emergency for Custer City, Foley, and Independence, as well as other portions of central Custer County. Again, it does not get worse than this. This is as bad as it gets here in Custer County, Oklahoma right now. We have a large, violent wedge tornado on the ground. Just crossed over Highway 183 and it's heading right for Custer City. So again, I cannot emphasize that enough. You need to run to your tornado safe spot right now. Again, as of 7 minutes ago, this is officially it. Oh my gosh. I just saw a photo of this thing for the first time, and it is an absolute monster. Oh my gosh. This is actually a huge tornado. I mean, we are talking EF4. I have no words. EF3 plus at least. This is a huge, violent, and catastrophic tornado once again. Again, you need to be in your tornado safe spot right now. I just now saw this because I was actually playing with my friend. And then I saw there was a PDS tornado. I was like, okay, I gotta go live. And then basically right after that, we got a tornado emergency. Again, this is a large and violent tornado. This is the most dangerous situation you will ever be in if you're in Custer City, Oklahoma. This is a massive wedge tornado. One of the biggest wedges I've ever seen in live time. Again, this is just an insanely large tornado, guys. I mean, genuinely, that is one of the largest I've seen live ever. Again, this is a deadly tornado. This is a catastrophic tornado. This is just ridiculously strong. Again, you gotta go now. Anywhere in this warning polygon. I don't care where you are. You gotta go. You need to run to your safe spot. This is a large and violent tornado near Independence. I mean, I just cannot believe it. This is... Oh, my goodness. Yeah, there is a tornado emergency. Yeah, it was a PDS for a minute, then got upgraded immediately. I cannot believe this. This is actually ridiculous. I mean, it is just a huge wedge. Again, one of the bigger tornadoes I've ever seen on radar. This is just absolutely ridiculous. All of this in a 2% tornado risk. I mean, that is just insane. It really is. We're on the cusp of no tornado risk at all, and we have a tornado emergency. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I don't even know how this is possible. And this is a cell that we were originally talking about in northwest Oklahoma. Like a few streams ago. We've been mentioning this for hours and hours. And, I mean, there we go. We're kind of talking about how it would pose a higher tornado risk, but I did not think we would see something like this. Again, this is a gigantic tornado. Again, it's a huge wedge. Again, I cannot show the picture of it for copyright reasons. Yeah, that is crazy. Again, this is near Custer City. Again, we're talking EF... I don't like pre-rating tornadoes, but we're talking EF3+ at least. Again, there's absolutely no way that this is lower than that. I'm sorry. There's not a lot of buildings out here for it to hit, but it's not going to matter. This is going to suck up everything in its path. I mean, this is just a ridiculously large tornado. Again, I just cannot believe it at all. Again, this is one of the larger ones we've ever seen on stream. EF3, EF4, it's something to that magnitude there. Again, in Custer City. This is just absolutely insane. It's just ridiculous. And, I mean, again, if you're in Independence, Custer City, Foley, even if you're to the north of this, like, I wish the polygon was a little bit further than north. Sunset, you gotta go. Anthem, you gotta go. I mean, this is just a huge tornado. Thomas, you gotta go. Just one of the largest I've ever seen, guys. And it's a rain-wrapped one. You're not going to see it unless you're literally inside of it. It may even be hail-wrapped, quite honestly. Again, this is a massive tornado. I mean, this is just insane. This is actually huge. Yeah, I do use Radar Omega. We're not getting velocity updates for some reason, and that's a little concerning. Okay. As soon as I say it. Right, it does not look quite as impressive on velocities, but it could just be because we're so far away from the radar side. Again, this is... You gotta go. I mean, you do not have time to get too specific. Alright, it has been downgraded. This is now down to... Back just to a regular PDS. Actually, this is all the way down to radar indicated. So they believe the tornado's lifted, but you need to stay in your safe place. This is still a tornado warning. I just am taking a second to process what actually just happened, because that was actually insane. Again, I am so scared to see the reports out of Custer City. That was by far the biggest tornado we've seen in the past few weeks here. And also, apparently this one in Kansas is on the ground now. I read that somewhere. Let's see. Let's see. Where's the actual velocity couplet? Where was it? I don't know. Oh, wait, it was down here near Patterson. Apparently, somebody was saying it was on the ground in Halstead. I'd believe it. And by the way, this warning is now for 90-mile-per-hour winds. The severe thunderstorm warning is. Yeah, that was a tornado as it ripped through Halstead. That was definitely a tornado as well. Oh, my goodness. She's just absolutely ridiculous, guys. Oh, my gosh. Again, we're talking about 90-mile-per-hour winds up here in Kansas at the minute, and then also we did have a tornado just rip through there. But again, the big story that we need to be talking about here is what just happened in Oklahoma. Again, that was just a massive tornado, and it could still even be on the ground near Independence, but it is down to radar indicated. It's weird, though. The other warning is still PDS. So this is still a PDS tornado. Again, continue to stay in your tornado safe spot. This is a massive tornado. Large wedge. I mean, if I had to estimate here, I'd be saying, you know, at least a mile wide. It's a big one, guys. It's not just a normal wedge either. There's sub-vortices even. New tornado warning now for parts of South Dakota. We're not watching that storm, though. We've got bigger stuff to deal with. Again, that was a huge, violent, catastrophic tornado that just ripped through there. And now we've got another severe thunderstorm warning. Again, we still have a couple of destructive severe thunderstorm warnings. One of them is for 90-mile-per-hour winds. But again, right now we are only focused on the tornado emergency in Thomas. Or sorry, there's no Torrey, but there was. Okay. Yeah, if you're ever in a tornado emergency, sprint down to your shelter. They don't just issue tornado emergencies every day. Again, this is still likely on the ground. It's not quite as large, but this is still definitely on the ground near Independence, if I had to guess. Again, this is still a PDS tornado warning. At 7:36 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located 5 miles west of Custer City. Moving east at 30 miles per hour, this is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. Again, Thomas, Weatherford, or Arapahoe. I don't care where you're at, really, in this warning box. If you're in this, you gotta go. Again, this is previously a tornado emergency, now downgraded to a PDS tornado warning. And again, this is still a large and extremely dangerous tornado that we have on the ground. Let's go back to our storm near Newton in Kansas. And yeah, I mean, this definitely did produce a tornado for a few minutes there to the southwest of Halstead at the very least. Oh, actually, I don't know if I'd go as far to say definitely. I don't know. I think it probably did, but I don't know about definitely. Yeah, it is a huge tornado. Again, as soon as I saw a photo of it, my heart sank. I mean, again, we're talking a mile wide, if I had to estimate, at least a mile wide. I mean, guys, the tornado was probably, like, almost as big as Custer City itself. Luckily, it didn't actually go through Custer City, but I will say it kind of ripped through here, and it went through areas like Independence, Anthem. They got hit incredibly hard. Still going through Independence, actually, if it is on the ground still. Again, I mean, that was just absolutely ridiculous. Again, that was just insane. I cannot believe it. I really can't. Okay, this may have lifted. Again, you need to continue to stay in your tornado safe spot here. We still possibly have a tornado on the ground here, but it's no longer a tornado emergency. And again, I don't think it's on the ground at this point, but it definitely could be. Let's go back up here to our storm in Kansas that is producing the 90-mile-per-hour winds. Again, those are non-tornadic winds, but we could also have a tornado inside of here, quite possibly. So again, we are asking everybody in Newton to take shelter immediately, as well as in North Newton. We are just getting so many severe thunderstorm warnings right now. We're up to 19. Again, we still have multiple destructive severe thunderstorm warnings, the main one being up here for the Wichita area. 90-mile-per-hour winds and half-dollar-sized hail. Take cover now. Again, I just seriously cannot even believe what just happened in Oklahoma. Because, again, I wasn't even really paying attention to the weather. I was playing with my friend, and then I saw that this was here. And then about 5 minutes later, the tornado emergency got issued. Yeah, there is a derecho right now. Down here in southern Kansas. This could actually still be on the ground. This could still be a tornado on the ground now that I look at it from the Oklahoma City radar. Again, we were in a pretty bad radar zone here, but I mean, that was such a clear tornado anyway. It pushed through the bad radar hole. I am just speechless. I really am. Again, I would honestly be shocked if that was not an EF3 plus tornado. I'm seeing another picture of it now. This was taken north of Clinton. Oh my gosh. I mean, it was just huge, guys. Again, it's just ridiculous. My goodness, guys. Again, we're talking at least 1.5 miles with that. At least 1 point it was, for sure. I mean, there's just no way that it wasn't. Really cannot believe it right now. Custer City has a population of 360. Yeah, the entire tornado emergency warning box only had a population of like 550. So if they issued a tornado emergency for an area that small, I mean, it's clear that was just a huge tornado if it was still able to warrant a tornado emergencies. Because, guys, I don't know if I've ever seen a tornado emergency with a population that little. So if they're still willing to issue one there, you know that was a massive tornado. I mean, it was just violent beyond belief. Again, I would honestly be flabbergasted if that was not at least an EF3 or an EF4 tornado. That was huge. By the way, we do have another severe thunderstorm warning for 90-mile-per-hour winds. This is a destructive storm, again, for the Wichita area. Take cover now. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. Impact, you're in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be heavily damaged or destroyed. Homes and businesses will have substantial roof and window damage. Expect extensive tree damage and power outages. I just am actually speechless. There's nothing I can say right now other than wow. Yeah, 360 is definitely the lowest population I've ever seen for an emergency warning as well. Not even just for a tornado emergency, but for any emergency warning type ever. Man. It's just absolutely ridiculously large. I think we did a pretty decent job covering that. I'm glad I went live when I did, for sure. That was just ridiculously insane. Again, that was a once-in-a-lifetime moment if you were just impacted by that. Again, if you know anybody in that area, you gotta give them a call or text. Make sure they're okay. That's just actually insane, guys. Again, this is still a very impressive HP supercell here. It's pretty beefy. It definitely has the potential to reproduce a tornado. So again, we got to continue to watch that as that heads towards the Oklahoma City area. The general vicinity of Oklahoma City, anyway. Probably go off just to the north of it. Areas like Edmond, El Reno, watch out. We got this big-time supercell coming in. And again, I don't want to forget that we also have a massive 100-mile-per-hour wind event going on in Kansas. This huge derecho. I mean, it's just insane what we're dealing with right now. At the same time, I'm gonna have to do a video about this after the fact. Okay, this has now been officially downgraded to radar indicated by the National Weather Service. Oh my goodness. It was just absolutely ridiculous. There's nothing other to say than that. Oh my goodness. I'm still trying to process what actually just happened. I thought we were done with the tornado emergency streak that we've been having, but nope, it continues. I mean, guys, we've had it's so many tornado emergencies this year. We've had 7 different tornadoes that earned a tornado emergency, and they all deserved it. Originally, I was second thinking about the one in Michigan, if it deserved it or not, but then I ended up getting rated EF3, and then I was like, well, I guess the National Weather Service wins that one. Anyway, on a more serious note, again, we gotta make sure that everybody in this area is okay. If you know anybody in this area, you gotta give them a call or text. We need to be praying for all these people that did just get impacted by this. Probably quite a bit of a hailstorm over Thomas right now. Again, Thomas, you need to be in your safe place, because this is still a tornado warning for that area. Again, we're getting DBZ values as well, very high up. We got 73, which is very large hail. Very, very large hail. 73 DBZ values there. It's warned for tennis ball sized hail, and it definitely deserves it. Again, hopefully everybody took the warning and took shelter. Wow. One of the bigger tornadoes I've ever seen on radar. One of the biggest, if not the biggest. Okay, you guys, we had 2 EF4s this year, both in Oklahoma, so if this one ends up getting a rated EF4, that's just a shame. That's more EF4s so far than we had in the entirety of last year, and last year was an active season. So if this gets rated EF4, I mean, this tornado season is just absolutely ridiculous, and it started out pretty slow, ironically enough. So again, there's your area of inflow. Possible tornado still located in here. Again, you need to be in your tornado safe spot anywhere in all these counties. I don't even care where you're at in the county. You gotta go. Yeah, I hope everyone's okay too. Looks like we got some storm chasers out there doing search and rescue. Yeah, we already had 2 EF4s this year. We got storm chasers Connor Croft and Brad Arnold out there. Whoa! With the trees shaking around, we got some intense wind action out there still.
It's gonna go like right in here.
Even after the tornado was already lifted. What you're seeing is a bunch of rain. It's not actually a tornado. I know it looks like a big time tornado, but it's actually just a lot of rain. I will say, I mean, just look at all that wind though.
It should be clear on the north
Incredibly
side.
windy. Talking about a 947 millibar low pressure in this area. And again, what you're looking at, oh my gosh, it's rotating so fast.
I don't think much.
Let me bring that up. Again, what you're looking at there, I know it looks like a large tornado, but it's really just a rain shaft there.
Velocity says yes. But
Very heavy rain. Again, still definitely got some damaging winds out there, at least gusty winds at the very least.
Actually has the
I mean, you can see it rotating in real time. This is not sped up.
No,
I mean, this is going to drop another tornado near Thomas.
God, I wish there was just an eastward up.
I mean, there's like 3 areas of circulation here, you guys. Again, Brad Arnold specifically, right now, what you're looking at is an area of, I mean, just intense, violent rotation there. Near E0920, I'm going to be crossing over Highway 54 soon.
A lot faster than the.
Again, I cannot emphasize this enough. You gotta get to your safe place. I wish this was still a PDS radar indicated warning, because this is still a very dangerous situation.
So explain this to me.
Particularly dangerous situation,
Explain
I would
this.
say.
How does that match up?
And you gotta go.
It's saying the best
Don't
rotation
play
is
around
down
with
here, but
this. This is a
I
very
would think it'd
nasty
be over
storm.
here.
Going behind a developing tornado, it could,
Hold on.
and that's the problem.
This
It very
RV
well
about to
could.
get wild.
Oh yeah, I know.
It could be. That's another problem with the tornado is that, I mean, at times it was definitely rain wrapped and possibly even hail wrapped. But yeah, the heavy rain could be hiding a developing tornado. So we're really probably not going to know if one drops in this region, because I mean, this area's just got so much rain and hail. I mean, you can see
Yeah.
it.
Alright, I say we drop south. No, it's already passed.
Run away?
Yeah.
Omega.
It's already passed. Run away, run away, run away. It should be like, you see where the wind's pulling into? It should be like right in there. It's already crossed the highway.
Welcome back to 50 miles per gallon.
Yeah, this is going to get wild.
And the velocity
You don't have to tell me
this is going to get wild.
incredibly concerning as well.
This is going to get very, very wild.
About
But
90 mile per hour winds.
there's no tornado in here. It may be one of those where you have to turn it this way.
Oh no, it
Now,
will.
granted, very high up in the atmosphere.
Oh, here we go. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready. I don't mind this.
Oh!
This could definitely have the potential to drop another tornado, and I would not be shocked at all. So again, you need to prepare for the worst in this area and run to your safe spot. Sorry, my radar Omega's looking weird. I don't know how to fix it. There's a little black bar at the bottom.
Closer to the radar. Closer to the radar.
There's an inflow button.
Not yet.
And again, you guys, that was just an absolutely massive wedge, and it could redevelop. Again, you gotta run to your tornado safe spot right now. New tornado warning has been issued. It's not even really an extension, it's just a reissuance because this one's about to expire. So, Greenfield, Bridgeport, again, you gotta get to your safe space if you're not already there. Thomas, you gotta stay there. There's several areas of rotation here. One's still up there by Thomas. Just ridiculously strong rotation here, guys. Again, I will not be shocked at all if this produces another tornado. I'd say it's more likely than not that it doesn't do that, but it could. It really could. Biggest tornado in a while, yeah, for sure. I mean, just insane how many massive wedges we've had recently. Big potato wedges. Again, there's where your inflow is. There is where your rotation is. off to the northeast of Brad Arnold's current location. And that's just insane, guys. This is absolutely ridiculous. Connor Croft's trying to get on this storm, but he's on a dirt road right now. I mean, guys, we are literally out in the middle of nowhere, so that is the silver lining here, is that this didn't hit anywhere populated, but man, the areas it did hit are going to be scarred for life. No problem. No problem that you are late. You don't have to apologize for being late. Wow. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we did have a huge tornado just now that just ripped through. And by the way, this is back up. This is back on the ground, and it's PDS. Okay, we have another large and destructive tornado heading for Greenfield and Bridgeport. You gotta run to your tornado safe spot. This is a massive tornado. Once again, once more. I can't even believe it. I just can't. All of this in an area with a 2% tornado risk. Again, we have another huge, damaging, violent tornado on the ground, potentially. So you gotta go. I'm gonna update the stream title to PDS Tornado. Just insane, guys. It really is. Or is it for this area up here near Thomas? We can't even check with like a debris signature. How is this confirmed? Let's see. Weather spotters confirmed tornado. How is Fort Wayne? Fort Wayne's fine. Nothing right now. Nothing at all. I did actually just notice there's a severe thunderstorm warning in central Illinois again. Man, they've just gotten hit today unexpectedly, really. Out here southeast of Decatur. That is not too far away from my area. Not at all. Okay, so... Okay, let's see where they confirm this at. 8 miles northwest of Hydro. Where's Hydro at? Okay, so it is this. The one that looks broad but strong. But apparently it is producing a tornado. And again, it's a strong one. It's a PDS tornado right now. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado warning. You gotta run to your safe space. I cannot stress that enough. You gotta go. Again, this is heading east towards Calumet, El Reno, down the line, Kingfisher, Yukon. You guys gotta get ready. Again, this is a life-threatening situation right now for areas like Greenfield and Bridgeport. There's a place called Dead Woman Crossing. Dead Women Crossing. That's weird. As this supercell gets closer to the radar site, we can see better and better just how intense it really is. I mean, it's just a massive pocket of inflow. We've got a huge hook echo trying to form there, trying to develop. Again, if we the large tornado that we have is still located right in here, if it is still on the ground, and it likely is. But we may even see them reissue the tornado emergency if it's as big as the last one, but I don't think it is. But it's still a very large and strong tornado. Again, I cannot stress that enough. You gotta run to your safe spot. We've got winds going one way towards the radar at 100 miles per hour, almost, and then going the other way, they're at about 45 miles per hour. So it's almost 150 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear there. Again, it's about 140, 145, kind of like it was earlier. Hard to tell whether or not it's a debris ball, but I definitely don't think it is. That would just be ridiculous considering how far away we are from the radar site. But, yeah. I mean, if you're newer to looking at radar, that could definitely trip some people up for sure. Trying to get radar on Megabit costs $9 on the App Store. Yeah, I mean, it's worth the cost, though, in my opinion, for sure. The most capable radar app, for sure. No questions asked, in my opinion. No questions asked, in my opinion. Alright. So again, if you're just now tuning in, we do have a large and damaging tornado on the ground south of Watonga, southeast of Thomas, northwest of Hinton in Oklahoma. Again, this is a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado that is on the ground. It's going to kind of ride the Interstate 40 corridor here towards areas like El Reno, Calumet, Okarch, Piedmont, Yukon, eventually towards downtown Oklahoma City if it lasts long enough. And this is in central and west central Oklahoma. Again, this is a deadly tornado. I did not mean to zoom in that far. This is absolutely insane what's happening right now, you guys. Oh my gosh. Again, guys, we might actually see them reissue that tornado emergency. This looks like it kind of warrants it. 135 mile per hour winds. Going against 50 mile per hour winds. Talking about incredibly high gate-to-gate shear with this tornado. And that hook echo is just nasty. We can tell better and better as we get closer to the radar site. And I think just in general it's getting more intense as well. Yeah, not El Reno. Not again. They don't need any more problems. Not another one. I mean, again, you guys, this is just a absolutely huge tornado here. Part of this PDS tornado warning is in an area that had no risk of a tornado, according to the SPC. That's because nobody could have predicted this. Absolutely nobody. Raining, thunder, and lightning, not too bad, though, yeah. The reason I say you're all good is just because there's no severe weather for your area. Not going to be any severe thunderstorms. Gonna be sunny tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not expecting anything really for Fort Wayne over here for the next few days. Maybe tomorrow you could have an isolated threat for a shower or thunderstorm. Yeah, I hope everybody's okay too. And then maybe the same for Tuesday, but I mean after that, actually Wednesday, I guess you are in the slight risk technically, so maybe you will have some stuff over the next few days. Yeah, hopefully this doesn't hit Moore either. Moore, Oklahoma does not need another tornado either. That would be a good debate. What was bigger, what was worse, the El Reno tornado or the Moore tornado? But yeah, I guess Fort Wayne actually is going to have some stuff over the next few days. I was wrong. Again, there's that severe thunderstorm warning in southeastern Macon County, near Long Creek and Mount Zion. Or eastern Mount Zion, anyway. Again, this is not too far away from me. Normally, I would not be focusing on this at all, but it's relatively near me, which is why I think it's just kind of interesting. I mean, at the minute here, it's just fine. Very tame. You can see, other than a few lingering cells out here to the northeast of this, I mean, it's an isolated spot, guys, where we're talking about severe weather here in central Illinois. More, definitely. I mean, El Reno was the biggest one ever, though. Yeah, it already has gotten hit hard by storms this spring. More about El Reno. If you ask Storm Chasers, that's dark humor. Yeah, but wasn't El Reno the biggest tornado ever? Yeah, it's the largest recorded one ever. I mean, I get the Storm Chasers joke, but Bridge Creek Moore was more devastating than El Reno Piedmont. I mean, I guess it is a more populated area near Moore, but still, El Reno's a pretty big city. Anyway, that's another debate for another day. Right now, we got to focus on the present, where, again, we have a large and potentially catastrophic tornado on the ground right now, guys. Northeast of Weatherford. It's north of Hydro, heading for Bridgeport and Greenfield. There's 2 tornado warnings here. One of them's radar indicated, but they're the exact same spot. It's weird. Alrighty, Roo. Yes, but it thankfully only caused EF3 damage. Could have been way worse had it hit structures. When I was recorded to have 300-mile-per-hour winds. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I mean, it didn't really hit too much. I always forget that El Reno only got rated EF3. See, I guess by that logic, more would be way worse, way more devastating. Alright, I admit it, I lost this argument. I mean, not argument, but spirited debate. So again, there's your beefy supercell there, capable, or not even capable, it is producing a strong tornado. Yeah, this is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. And originally this is a tornado emergency whenever it was another tornado back here near Custer City, but this still is producing a strong tornado. It's a different one, but still strong. We do have the new SPC update out, and they are keeping the moderate risk of severe weather, and if you'll notice, they dive the enhanced risk way further to the south because of these intense supercells down here that we were not expecting. Still though, weirdly enough, this is still only in a 2% tornado risk somehow. The tornado that's really surprising is Salt Lake City EF2 in 1999. I've never looked into that too much. By the way, this is down to radar indicated, but you need to continue to stay in your safe place here, guys. This is just insane. Again, please stay in your safe spot. Oh, wait, I just realized these are not the same shape polygons. This one goes a little further back. Tree down and power poles down. Possible tornado. This is, yeah, I mean, this is definitely the tornado, the second one. So now we know even the smaller one that did just happen was downing trees and power lines. Or tree damage and power lines down. Anyway. Okay, guys, we're going to have to do a documentary on today's event. You can't have a high-end derecho and a massive tornado outbreak and a catastrophic wedge in the same day without doing a documentary on it on my channel. I'm sorry, but you can't. At least if it's a new outbreak. Yes, I get it. I've never done a documentary on on the 2011 super outbreak, okay? This is just a ridiculous line of winds here, guys. This is a massive derecho event that's still ongoing here near El Dorado. I mean, you can just see how intense it is. If you're in El Dorado, I mean, this is here. You gotta seek shelter right now. You've got seconds. In fact, it's already here, pretty much. And one for 90-mile-per-hour destructive winds there. Again, the highest we've had today was one for 100. I've never seen a warning tag with over 100. I don't even know if they make those. Probably not, if I had to guess. They probably do, actually. That was probably stupid of me to say. Again, was not expecting this at all. Nobody expected this, be honest. Shoot documentaries of tornadoes in the past. See, I did do one for the March 31st, 2023 outbreak, but that was still pretty recent, obviously. I may have to do one for some other events from the past. But I like doing the present ones because they're more relevant topics. You know, there's been millions of documentaries on, you know, the 2011 super outbreak. But if you do it quick enough, nobody's made a documentary on the new events. But again, it's a little tricky sometimes because I try to still balance at least a little bit of quality in there rather than just entirely focus on getting the video out immediately, obviously. And I hope it shows. It's not like I'm some professional editor or anything, but I try to put at least a little bit of time into those documentary videos. Oh my goodness, my nose is making weird noises, I'm sorry. Again, we could still have a tornado on the ground here, you guys. At the very least, we got some very high winds here. Holy cow. Okay. This kind of reminds me of what the, Minden, Iowa EF3 tornado looked like. It looked kind of like that velocity couplet there, except for more insane. Alright. Oh wait, I know why the tornado threat was still only at 2%. Because the SPC outlook updated, but now it reverted back. That's weird. Yeah, they did dive the 5% tornado risk. No. This is accurate. Yeah, it is. It is. Huh. That's weird. Very weird that they decided to keep that at a no tornado risk for areas southeast of this, where they already have a tornado warning up. I mean, the National Weather Service issues the warnings, obviously, but the Storm Prediction Center and the National Weather Service kind of go hand in hand. Rolling Fork and Mayfield are definitely the most deadly tornadoes in the 2020s right now. Yeah, I'd agree. I'd like to throw in Winterset, Iowa. I think in general, though, Mayfield and Rolling Fork are probably worse than Winterset for sure. Rolling Fork and Mayfield were just on like a whole nother level. Winterset still kind of felt like, I mean, obviously it was a violent EF4 wedge, but it feels like something that similar to what happened today. That's not me pre-rating and saying this was an EF4, okay? And this is also not me saying it's as bad as Winterset. It just feels similar to what happened today. Yeah, Winterset's an easy one to forget, but whenever you remember it, you kind of think, how did I forget that? That was huge. Tornado warning has now been condensed. Again, they're keeping the 2 polygons for some reason. They're in the exact same spot now. It's weird. Anyway. Wait, no. Now the SPC update is back. I don't get it. What the heck? Okay, so they do have the 5% tornado risk on going down here. Okay. I still think they could have done with adding a 10% hatched, but at this point, honestly, now the daylight heating hours are over, that probably, maybe they shouldn't have done that. Okay. It took me 5 seconds to debunk my thinking. That's probably not a good sign. Yeah, the supercell is much less organized, but it continues to have the tornado warning tag on it. So again, stay in your safe place here. This has previously produced multiple large, violent tornadoes heading towards Greenfield and Bridgeport. Again, this is a tornado warning now. Just a regular one. Or 2 regular ones, technically. I don't know why they did that, though, seriously. I mean, that is just the smoothest derecho I've seen in a while, guys. Smoothest line of storms in general I've seen in a long time. And it's heading off to the south and the east. I think it's probably going to stop, all this crazy wind action soon, like 90 miles per hour. But it's still definitely going to have that potential to produce 60 to 70, maybe an isolated gust up to 80 miles per hour as it heads off to the southeast here. You think the tri-state tornado was multiple tornadoes or just one tornado? I think the tri-state tornado was probably multiple tornadoes, because here's the thing. We don't know that much about the tri-state tornado, but it doesn't seem realistic that that is even possible. Like, I don't know, I just have there's such a big debate on this, but it just feels so weird that the tri-state tornado, I mean, there's obviously there's been other tri-state tornadoes, but in general, I'm pretty sure the Missouri, Illinois, Indiana tri-state that we're talking about is the longest tracking tornado ever. And it just seems a little suspicious that we have not had anything at all remotely like that since then. So I have a feeling it was multiple tornadoes, but still, obviously a devastating event and probably the worst tornado event ever. If we're talking like individual tornadoes, or if we're counting as multiple, whatever we're saying here. Because I feel like overall the 2011 super outbreak was definitely worse than that one tornado. Mayfield was long track. How did I forget about that? We were just talking about Mayfield. How did I forget about how long track it was? Didn't it go all the way from Arkansas back into Kentucky? I don't even know why I'm asking that. It did. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it could be one tornado, but it's crazy that stuff like that actually happens here in the United States. if that was just one tornado. But, I mean, either way, it happened. What happened, happened. Doesn't really matter if it was one tornado or not. Yeah, I thought it did. I thought it went from Arkansas to Kentucky. See, here's the thing. I wasn't interested in weather in 2021, so I've had to go back, back in time. But I'd say I have my fair share of knowledge about all the major tornadoes. Well, not all of them, but a good chunk of them at this point. Like the big ones, like everybody knows in the WX community, like the general, El Reno, Norman, what else? I blanked. The Tri-State tornado, all right, everybody knows that one. Everybody knows the Tuscaloosa, Birmingham. Everybody knows, in recent history, Rolling Fork, Mayfield, Winterset, Barnsdall. I don't know if you can count that, though, because that just happened, like, 2 weeks ago. But, I mean, it was EF4. Technically, it was on the same level as Mayfield and Rolling Fork. Actually, its recorded wind speeds weren't as high, though. But it has the same rating, so. Man, that's an organized velocity couplet. Again, as we get closer and closer to the radar site, we can see it. Mayfield tracked 169 miles. How far did the Tri-State tornado track? Tri-State tornado track. I don't know what that was, sorry. $19.25 Tri-State tornado track. Dude, why can I not find just a specific answer? $219. So Tri-State did track more. Yeah, I don't know. I seriously doubt a tornado could track over 200 miles. That just doesn't even feel possible. But, I mean, apparently it happened if we're counting Tri-State as one tornado. But that's the thing. I don't think it was. It just seems a little unrealistic. Unless there's another example of a long tracking tornado that I forgot about that tracked that long. Okay, so yeah, the Tri-State did track. It's the longest tracker ever, but I mean, obviously somebody's got to set the record. Just because it tracked the longest doesn't mean that it had to have been multiple tornadoes, because I mean, obviously there's going to be a number one. It just doesn't feel realistic that, I don't know. I mean, it could have been. There was damage across a good chunk of the path. I don't know. I went back and forth on this like 6 times during this stream. I think we're going to end off here. I do want to thank you all for tuning in. Look at that hail core. I do want to thank you all for tuning in. It has been incredibly eventful. I still can't believe we had a tornado emergency in the last hour, and we're not talking about that. But, again, thank you all for tuning in. I'll come back live later if we have another tornado, or if we have, 100-mile-per-hour winds or something like that. But I think we're probably going to be done for the night. So thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.